Hi Wietse! I love how easy it is to build web apps with Cloud Run. I don't have to worry about server provisioning or maintenance.
Yes, I've met with many developers here in Europe who say the same things.
But some large retailers here in the US have asked me, what happens when Black Friday or another traffic spike happens? Can Cloud Run scale up quickly enough?
Absolutely. Let's find out by running an experiment.
Alright Wietse, how will this experiment work?
I build a simple Cloud Run service. And this is what it does. When it gets a request, it will wait for 1 second and then compute a few prime numbers. It's a healthy mix of I/O wait and CPU usage.
Okay, but Wietse, is this actually a good example? I don't know of many customers who are computing prime numbers in production.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A better example would look like this. To handle a request, your service likely sends a request to a backend, waits for the response, and then burns a few CPU cycles to process the response.
I get what you're trying to say. Your example is similar to real-world services because it's also a mix of waiting and CPU usage. Do you also have a database that you're sending queries to here?
No, I don't. My service handles every request by waiting for 1 second and computing a few prime numbers to burn CPU cycles. And in the real world, the whole system needs to scale, including the database. But this demo is just about scaling Cloud Run.
All right, sounds great, Wietse. Now you're going to send some traffic to your Cloud Run service, right?
That's right. And this is how I'm going to do it. I will use an infinite loop to send requests to my service. And in fact, I'll use many infinite loops.
That's great. I'm usually not a fan of infinite loops, but they sound very useful here. How will we see the results of this load test?
Well, I've built a small dashboard and it will show all those infinite loops visualized as red circles. And all those infinite loops send requests to the Cloud Run service. Cloud Run starts container instances to handle the requests, and I visualize the container instances using green squares.
That looks great. How do you know when each container starts and stops?
In my code, I send a message to PubSub when the container is ready to receive requests. And I also send a signal when it's about to shut down. And that does mean that there might be a small lag in the visualization before you see the container instance light up in the interface. Well, that's the container instance startup time.
Okay, got it. When the clients are sending requests, we won't see the container instances immediately because Cloud Run has to start them first. That sounds reasonable. Now, shall we start the load test?
Yes, let's get started. Here is my load tester tool. There are 4 buttons at the top. We're now at no traffic. There's regular traffic, a traffic surge, and insane traffic. And I'm not sure I want to press that today, but well, I will do it anyway.
All right, and there's also a total number of requests and success percentage. Now, that success percentage, that's an important number to watch, right?
Yeah, that's right. It would be really great if the success percentage stays at 100%, because that will mean that Cloud Run successfully handled every single request. Now let's start the test and click regular traffic. Okay, 10 infinite loops appear and they start sending requests. Cloud Run needs just a few container instances to serve this load. And you can see the counter increase too. That counts the total number of requests served. All right, we've served about 500 requests now. Let's simulate a traffic surge now and increase the number of infinite loops from 10 to 2000. And Cloud Run is deciding what to do now. The current active instances don't have enough capacity to serve all incoming requests immediately. So requests start to queue up in the system. And as an end user, you will notice some additional latency now. And there you go. Cloud Run decides to add many more container instances to serve all those incoming requests.
So you're saying that Cloud Run starts new container instances to handle incoming requests. Why then are there more load-generating clients than there are container instances?
Oh, that's a great question. It's because each container instance handles many requests at the same time. Cloud Run looks at the CPU utilization and the rate of incoming requests to add more instances.
Ah, got it. Hey, Wietse, I noticed that you didn't push the last button yet. I'm sure everyone who's watching wants to see what happens when you do that.
Yes, I'm not sure I'm ready for that, but I will press it anyway. And this will increase the number of clients from 2,000 to 30,000. And those are
Wow.
infinite loops, right? Not end users. Okay, I will press the button. Wow, look at the number of container instances. And still a 100% success rate. And that's kind of the important thing here.
Looks like Cloud Run scales up quickly when your traffic increases.
Yes, but remember, if your Cloud Run service hits a database, you need to make sure that the database can keep up with this sort of traffic. In practice, I think many developers will find that Cloud Run won't limit the scalability of their system.
Right, good point. Let's leave database scalability for another video. But handling all this traffic can't be free.
Yeah, that's right. It's not free to keep many container instances running. And that reminds me, I should turn off the load tester now. This test didn't take long, so it should have only cost me a few dollars. And the good news is that by default, you only pay for instances in Cloud Run while they are handling requests.
Well, thank you for showing us how quickly Cloud Run scales up, Wietse.
You're welcome. I think this experiment gave us a good idea of how Cloud Run scales up, and everyone has to decide for themselves if this would be quick enough for their system.
Yep, well, it would certainly be quick enough for any system I've built.
Well, workloads are different, so everyone has to make their own decisions based on their situation.
That is a good point, Wietse. Well, thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions for Wietse or me about Cloud Run scalability, please let us know in the comments. Also, do let us know if there are any other serverless topics you'd like to see in future episodes. We read every single comment. Until next time!